Today we're going to take a look at our first project, which is Project 1.5, the blinking message. During this project, you will learn how to use various LED lights in order to display a message on your microbit screen. Before we get into the project and the requirements, we're going to take a look at what we use LEDs for. Now, one of the main things that LEDs can be used for is to display information. These are called informative LEDs. Now, an LED is what we call a light-emitting diode. They're energy efficient and can be programmed to show a variety of symbols and images. You have seen LED signs around your community. Airports and bus terminals often use LED signs to scroll and update information quickly. This is handy when flights or routes are delayed. Waiting passengers can be notified of any travel updates in a timely manner. Some emergency and public transportation vehicles use animated LED turn signals to clearly show where the vehicle is going. Much like an animator, creator of cartoons, LED lights can be programmed to show a series of images or symbols. When the images are lit up in a sequence, the LED images appear to move. Another way LEDs have been used is through the use of emojis. You have used an emoji in a text or posted one online, but emoji is basically an idea or an emotion that's expressed with a small digital image. They include facial expressions, hand gestures, common objects, weather, and animals. To standardize emojis so that they can be used in a variety of apps and countries, each new set of emojis must be approved by the Unicode Consortium. Each emoji is then assigned a Unicode. For example, in 2015, the Oxford Dictionaries named face with tears of joy its word of the year. The Unicode for this emoji is U+1F602. Emojis are a great way to express ideas and emotions without using a lot of text. Using the LED grid on the microbit, you'll create and program an emoji as part of your blinking message. You might even decide to animate your emoji to give it some character. Let's take a look at your blinking message project, which you will complete over the next few class periods. For the blinking message project, you will think of various ways to communicate with your friends. You might send messages using phones, handwritten notes, or computers. Imagine using a programmed LED grid, like the one on a microbit, to send your friend a message. For the blinking message project, you'll design and program an animated LED message using letters, symbols, numbers, and images, like an emoji. Your LED message to your friend can include scrolling words, but just like a handwritten note or text message, you'll want to include some images. Physical computing projects rely on environmental interactions, so it's important for you to share your projects with others and have them try it out. You'll share your finished blinking message on the microbit controller, your plans for the message, and your program. Let's check out the blinking message requirements to make sure that you include everything in your program. For your blinking message requirements, it's important to note that all of the below statements need to be completed in order for you to receive full credit. We need to make sure that part of the message scrolls. Now, the part that scrolls should be using letters, numbers, or symbols. This can be some sort of message that you want to send to your friend. We're going to be using the show string block in order to get that message to scroll across the screen. You will also need to display at least one static image. That means that your image should not move. So this can be anything from a heart to a smiley face, some sort of emoji that you can incorporate into your message. You will also need to display at least one animation. Now, an animation is a sequence of images to show a movement. There are various ways of getting this outcome to be achieved, which I will be showing you during our next video lesson. It is important to note that you must have at least one still image and one image that is animated. This will give you a total of 2 different images in your project. Now that we're ready to begin planning our blinking message, it's time to think of our message that we want to send to our friends. You are going to need to think of a message and write it down. You can make changes to your message later if you want. Include any small images you might need for your message. Remember, you will need one static image as well as one animation. Plan out your message's images and animations by sketching them on the LED grid. You will find at the bottom of your Schoology page there is a Google Doc that you can use to practice creating your images. Plan your message so that it shows the sequence of your message. You might want to write your message down to begin after someone presses an A button or automatically when the microbit turns on. Be sure to include how the message will be activated on the microbit LED grid. Down below, you will see that you have a check for understanding. Once you have thought of your message and planned out your images, it will be time to complete that check for understanding. Down below, you will see an example of what my Project 1.5, the blinking message, will do. Here I have a message that says, "Come here, Knight," and that will scroll across the microbit screen. After that finishes scrolling across the screen, you will see an animation of a dog that walks across the screen from right to left and then back again from left to right. Once the dog walks across the screen, we will then see a static image of a heart that will appear on the screen for 2 seconds before turning off. Now, in order to plan your message and to practice, what you will see is down below you have this link to your Project 1.5 LED practice. This is not something that you need to turn in, but something that you can use just to practice getting those LEDs on the screen. You'll need to go ahead and click on that link, and when you do, you will need to make a copy of this actual document. Since it is view only, you will not be able to edit unless a copy is made. Once you make a copy for practice, here you'll see that you have several different colors up at the top. You can feel free to change any of those colors if you would like, but once you decide on a color, you can use that to practice planning out your LED grid. So for example, if we want to make a static image of a heart, maybe I'll use the red one, and what I'm going to do here is go ahead and just place that red one right where I think it needs to be, and then I'm going to use my Control-C and Control-V feature in order to go ahead and paste them in.